Hey there, my name is Joseph Clough and welcome back to the podcast. This is episode 640 if you're in my program, or episode 614 if you're listening to this on the app or the podcast or YouTube or wherever else you might be getting these. Now, in this episode, I would really like to talk to you about the big subject of something like the meaning of life. Now, a lot of people that I work with, they're trying to find meaning, they're trying to experience something, and more often than not, many people go ahead, and you might be like this as well, we are all a part of that same kind of behavior. We try to find meaning in the things we're about to buy, or the meaning in relationships, meaning through religion or spirituality. And when we think about the meaning of life, why we're here, there are so many different answers that you could go into, right? I mean, and I don't want to go into those specific answers. I want to keep things super simple. Now, you might disagree with me, and that's fine. However, I do believe you're going to get value from this if you follow about the kind of things that I'm about to say. You see, when someone says to me, and this does happen quite often, surprisingly, to me sometimes, that they ask, like, Joseph, what do you believe the meaning to life is? And what I try to do is I try to think things simply as possible. And in the context of that question, I try to use the exact same words and understand, well, how can I use that? And ultimately, it's about finding meaning in who you are. That to me is something which I think is the biggest meaning of life kind of answer. There is no right or wrong answer, by the way. There's just my thoughts. But I think when you find meaning in your own existence, you will never have to ask that question to yourself. You're probably not going to experience stress or worries or depressions, because when you find meaning out of your own existence by many different things, it's like you could find meaning right now. Like you could find the meaning of my words, which once utilized will allow you to expand your consciousness, expand your experience, the nature of you, by just listening. You can find meaning in the real wonderful relationships around you. You can find meaning in the communication with yourself. Like when you think about the intention and the meaning of how you speak to yourself, is it in the positive or is it in the negative? Now be conscious of that, because when you understand the meaning within you, the meaning of your words, we can understand that intent. We can understand how it can leave a trail of happiness or a trail of pain in our life. And I really like the idea of that when we find the meaning in the ecological way, the meaning to oneself, the meaning to others, and the meaning to the world of how you react to it, your relationship to it, we go in far more into a mindful state. We become conscious of the unconscious. We become conscious of our thoughts. We become conscious of our behaviors. We start to do things in a meaningful way that we know is going to allow us to grow. You see, in every situation, I think we can also find meaning in it. And even to our greatest issues that we experience, I think we can find meaning in it. We can allow the meaning of our biggest problem to be our biggest instigator if we choose to find meaning in the issue. The meaning of the experiences we go through. Maybe you've gone through some horrific experiences. Lots of people do in different ways, and we all experience them in ways which are not so cool. But what if you found meaning from them? And by meaning, if we go, what can I learn from this? But if I can learn from it, it will actually be a teacher. You see, I think experience, there'll be another episode, I'm sure, that experience is our greatest teacher. Yet we must find meaning in the experience. meaning in that past situation or the present thing that we're going through, which will allow us to grow our consciousness, allow us to grow our potentiality, allow us to grow our comfort zone. When we really consider like the essence of who you are, like we can go down crazy different rabbit holes here. Like I honestly believe that the purest part of you're just love, your oneness, your beingness. And then above all that, we can be layered with the stuff. But if we really break things down, I think when you seek out the meaning of what gives you joy, which gives you bliss, that allows you to experience more freedom, wherever it be in your relationship, maybe in your health, in your abundance, financial abundance, the things that you have. You see, you can gain wealth and still be unhappy. There are lots of rich people I've worked with in the past who have issues. The wealth gave them more freedom, it gave them more security, but it didn't cure all their psychological issues or their emotional issues. But if we consider that if someone were to find the meaning of the stuff that they own, and if it doesn't have meaning, to let it go. If in friendships, if the majority of people, there's one specific or a few people bringing you down, how much meaning is it giving you? Is it allowing you to grow, or is it allowing you to shrink? So be conscious of your experience in this world. Become conscious of finding more meaning. I really believe, for example, that anyone, no matter what age they are, wherever they are in life, no matter what their education is, and you might say I'm a dreamer, but there's what I believe to be true. I've seen experiences of it time and time again. But I know to be true in my world is that anyone, no matter where they are, can do something they love and be rewarded for it. Whether that be through the meaning, or whether that be the equation, the financial equation of receiving back, which then you find more meaning in the things that you have with your freedom. But anyone can shine. And I think we give ourselves the illusion that we cannot shine, that we don't have meaning right now. And just because you don't believe you have it right now, just because your bank statement says negative or zero or very, very small, just because you don't have that relationship, it doesn't mean you don't have meaning. The essence of you is meaning. The meaning that you choose to consciously to pull out of that experience is going to allow you to grow. Those going in through the most horrible situations, there's always someone there looking for the learning. They're looking for the meaning from this. What can I grow? What can I learn? So in your times of distraught, in your times of stress, in the times of who you are, the relationships you are, choose to find the meaning out of it. Choose to find, and I say choose because I believe it is a choice. We delete the choice sometimes, but I know that we can find meaning in all if we choose. And it doesn't have to be the greatest of epiphanies, but there can be some learnings there that once utilized will allow you to grow. So the meaning of life is to find the meaning that gives you joy, that allows you to grow, allows you to shine. And then I believe that will encompass all the other things. It'll encompass the religion or spirituality. It'll encompass the financial wealth, the relationships we have. And I think if you go about living that mindful way of choosing how you spend your time, because you're made up of energy and you have so much time. That's pretty much it for everyone, right? We're all energy. We create energy, we decrease our energy, we fuel ourselves up. We are just energy. And we also have time. And time in our life is something that we can categorize, whether it be a rough guess of when we may move on, or the breaking down of our month, our day, our hour, our minutes, and each one of those units of time, you can choose to find meaning. For example, you may be going for example, I live in California, and near us we've got the 15, and it can get really backed up, especially if you're going near LA and things like that. You can be totally stressed out from something something that you're listening to, the traffic itself, or the alternative is, how can I find meaning out of this? What can I do today that will allow me to grow my experience? What can I learn? What's the meaning? That if I can find meaning in the situation, will allow me to grow that bit more. And then even to utilize that time in the meaning of listening to a podcast, educating yourself. Because you might not be in the best financial situation. You might be doing a job you dislike, but there'll be times where you can educate yourself. You can learn, whether it be on the commute, if it's a part of your job, at lunch breaks, whatever it is, there's always something that you can do to find more meaning and more growth and more learning to advance your happiness by the very nature of you, considering what gives you more joy. And we can branch that out to every situation. What is the meaning that will allow you to shine more? What is the meaning of how you react to situations? What's the meaning of those you interact with and allow in your life, or those people that you can let go? What are the meaning of the words that you say to yourself? And if we change the meaning, we change the response. Now think about that for a moment. If that person is in that stressful situation in traffic and their meaning of that situation was to get angry, someone else could choose a different meaning, so therefore they get a different response. Maybe peace, maybe the joy, the humor of it. And I've been in traffic like that, and I think that it's an opportunity to do something. Like, there's not many times in the day that we have quietness, that we're by ourselves. In that traffic jam, that is a perfect opportunity. If you're waiting in the doctor's office, there's a perfect opportunity to listen to yourself, to just be present, to notice what you notice by finding the meaning of your experience. So when I get that question asked, what is the meaning of life? I think it's redefine meaning. The meaning of who you are and where you're heading and where you want to shine and grow. We all have it. We all have that time. We all have that energy, and it's up to us to choose to use that time that we have to find the meaning in our present experience. So ask yourself, are you living a life of meaning? Are you living a life of judgment? Are you living a life of peace? Are you living a life of financial abundance? In the health abundance, the friendship abundance? Because if you're not, wake up to that and realize you can find meaning in many different ways. You can change your emotional state. You can choose something else. And the choice of your life will set you free. They're finding the meaning in your experience. And I think that profound knowingness that you can choose to experience freedom, you can choose to experience meaning. And even if you don't get it straight away, you can find it down the line. It will grow, it will get better. Or you can find it in a different way. If you're not getting job satisfaction, if you're not earning the kind of money you want, think of the feeling that goal will get you, and then choose to find and seek out that meaning, that feeling, in other ways. Because when you start to allow that to focus in the other ways, it will allow you to look for other opportunities to progress on your journey. It's not all about that one thing causing the stress. There is so many other opportunities out there to find the true meaning of your experience. And that's really what I really believe to be true. Now, you can take whatever you want from that, even just by going, well, what can I learn from this experience? What can I find meaning in my experience? What is the bigger picture, the smaller picture, the details that I'm missing that if I pay attention to, will set me free on my journey to find even more meaning. And then like I said, that will add to your other meanings of life. Whether it be, like I said, God, religion, spirituality, whatever it is for you. It will allow you to live a more meaningful life. And when you live a meaningful life, I don't see stress there. I see opportunity. I see even obstacles, but obstacles are something it's a challenge, right? You just change the meaning, gives you the challenge. It takes away the problems because you're just seeing it in a different way. You're changing the meaning of the experience. So I hope you enjoyed that. And as always, if you are experiencing low self-esteem, unconfidence, you want unstoppable confidence, and you're committed and ready to make the biggest transformation and to invest in yourself, just go to josephclough.info/go and you can book a call with us. We will discuss where you are, where you're heading, and then if we can support you, we'll definitely show you how we can make that problem disappear and get everything you want. That's what we do. If we can support you, we'll definitely show you how we'll do that, and only if we offer it means we can definitely get that. So have the most wonderful rest of the day, and I look forward to speaking to you soon even. Remember, find the meaning, and then you'll change the reactions, the stresses, the joys, the abundance, all of it. So consider that now. Bye-bye.